I am a country boy who was born in a small town called DeQuincy and raised in an even smaller town called Bunkie, Louisiana. What I often say is I had an early mentor. My mentor was the cotton fields. And you can imagine Louisiana's hot sun is 95 degrees and the humidity is 80, 90%. I remember coming home one day, talked to my grandmother who essentially raised me and told her, I said, I am not doing this the rest of my life. And she said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, but it won't be this. She said, how about a school teacher? And so my grandmother with a third grade education was the first person to plant the idea in my mind to eventually become a teacher.
I've known Dr. Warner for many years when I was a PhD student back in the 80s. He always is a wonderful role model, and he always encouraged me to do the best, be the best scientist I can, the best teacher and mentor of students that I can.
I met Dr. Warner as a freshman at LSU in chemistry, and from day one, he was just always in my corner. He made sure that if I had any questions, he was there to provide the answers to those questions, point me in the right direction of who could help me with certain things.
So I met him a couple of years ago, about maybe 20 years ago. He's excellent at identifying talent and ensuring that the right person is doing the right experiment.
I was a former graduate student of Isiah's in Emory and at LSU. I got incorporated into his lab very quickly. I think one of the things you see is the kind of culture he created of collaboration and of support.
I'm sure you all will read his bio. I don't know too many people with credentials like Dr. Warner.
So I certainly am proud of the research that I've accomplished. But the thing that I love most about my career is, without a doubt, my interaction with students. I didn't realize that I was this thing called a mentor. In fact, I knew what a mentor was, but I never defined myself as a mentor. At Emory, the faculty gave me my review, and in this review they said the way Isiah works with his students makes us all take a second look at how we interact with our students. He serves as a role model for how we should interact with students. It was at that time I began to realize that I was making an impact on students, and that did not come to full fruition until I went to LSU.
He always makes time for whoever wants to talk to him, and if he doesn't hear from one of his mentees for a little while, he reaches out.
And he calls me. I want to say that he makes, he has this habit that he makes phone calls just to check on me. And I've never had any mentor do that. The fact that he takes a little bit of his time, knowingly that he has so many things going on, I'm extremely grateful for that.
How's your family? He knows your family members' names. He knows my kids' names. And so to have that was also very special. I also cannot talk about Dr. Warner without talking about Mrs. Della Warner, who opened her life, opened her home. She shared her husband with the world.
It just seems like every time I'd come to a stumbling block, somebody would be there to guide me to the next step.
He was blessed with a lot of mentors in his life, and I think that's why he's so passionate about helping others, because of how much he benefited from having good mentorship.
That's been his life's work, not just to do strong science, but to teach the principles of doing strong science to the next generation. That's his legacy.
He really touched the lives of many people, and he still does.
He's usually extremely happy when his students are successful. That joy that he has for the student really encapsulates who he is as a mentor.
We all have to be there for somebody's, so to help guide the next generation. particularly in these times where things are changing so rapidly that we don't know where we're going.